Dear brothers and sisters, today I would like to talk to you about the dangers of harmful habits, such as addiction and substance abuse, and why it is important for us to delay gratification. We live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages that encourage us to seek pleasure and instant gratification. We are told that we deserve to indulge in our desires and that we should always put ourselves first. Unfortunately, this mentality has led many of us down a dangerous path towards addiction and substance abuse. Addiction and substance abuse are not just harmful to our physical health, but they can also damage our relationships, our careers, and our spiritual well-being. These habits can rob us of our sense of purpose and meaning in life, and they can lead us down a path of destruction. But why do we fall into these harmful habits? Often it is because we lack the ability to delay gratification. We want to feel good right now, and we are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that feeling, even if it means putting our long-term well-being at risk. As Christians, we are called to resist these temptations and to strive for self-control. We are called to put our trust in God and to seek His guidance in all aspects of our lives. We are also called to love one another and to care for our brothers and sisters who may be struggling with addiction or substance abuse. It is not easy to resist the temptation of harmful habits, but with the help of God, we can overcome these challenges. We can find strength in prayer, in our relationships with one another, and in the knowledge that we are not alone in our struggles. As we continue to discuss the dangers of addiction and harmful habits, I would like to focus on the topic of video game addiction and how it has negatively impacted many young men in our society. Video game addiction is a real and growing problem that affects many individuals, particularly young men. The constant stimulation and instant gratification provided by video games can be incredibly addictive, leading individuals to spend countless hours playing games and neglecting other important aspects of their lives. For young men in particular, video game addiction can have a profound impact on their social and emotional development. Instead of building real-world relationships and engaging in meaningful interactions with others, young men may spend hours on end immersed in a virtual world, isolated from the rest of society. This can lead to feelings of loneliness, depression, and anxiety, as well as a lack of motivation to engage in other activities that may be more beneficial in the long run. It can also negatively impact academic performance, as young men may neglect their studies in favor of playing video games. In extreme cases, video game addiction can even lead to a complete loss of control, with individuals playing for days on end without taking breaks for food or rest. This can lead to serious health consequences, both physical and mental. As a community, it is our responsibility to address this growing issue and to support those who may be struggling with video game addiction. We must encourage young men to engage in a variety of activities and hobbies, to build real-world relationships, and to find fulfillment in other areas of their lives. We must also educate ourselves about the signs and symptoms of video game addiction and be willing to seek help for ourselves or our loved ones if necessary. This may include therapy, support groups, or other resources that can provide assistance in overcoming this addiction. Ultimately, we must strive to find a balance between the many demands of modern life and the need to care for our spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. With God's help and the support of our community, we can overcome addiction and harmful habits and find joy and fulfillment in all aspects of our lives. I want to address another issue that has a negative impact on many young men in our society: porn addiction. Pornography addiction is a growing problem, particularly among young men who have easy access to explicit material on the internet. Like other addictions, it can lead to serious consequences, including physical, emotional, and spiritual harm. Pornography addiction can lead to distorted views of sexuality and relationships, objectification of women, and a lack of respect for others. It can also cause shame, guilt, and feelings of inadequacy, as individuals may feel that they cannot live up to the unrealistic standards portrayed in pornographic material. Furthermore, porn addiction can have a significant impact on mental health. It can lead to depression, anxiety, and addiction to other harmful substances. It can also lead to a decrease in self-esteem, as individuals may struggle to form meaningful relationships with others. As a community, we must recognize the negative impact that pornography addiction can have on young men and strive to create a supportive and open environment where individuals can seek help without judgment. We must educate ourselves and our children about the dangers of pornography addiction and encourage healthy sexual behavior that is respectful and consensual. It is important to note that recovery from pornography addiction is possible. It may require professional help, such as therapy or support groups, as well as a commitment to self-care, spiritual practice, and healthy relationships. Ultimately, we must remember that God calls us to treat our bodies with respect and to honor the gift of sexuality that He has given us. We must strive to create a culture that values healthy sexuality and relationships, and that encourages individuals to seek God's guidance in all aspects of their lives. While we have discussed the negative impact of harmful habits and addictions, I want to emphasize that there are positive habits that can help us delay gratification and improve our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. One of these habits is regular exercise, such as going to the gym or engaging in other physical activities. Exercise not only helps us to maintain a healthy weight and improve our physical health, but it also releases endorphins, which can boost our mood and help us manage stress and anxiety. Another habit that can help us delay gratification is journaling. By taking time each day to reflect on our thoughts and emotions, we can gain greater insight into our own behavior and identify patterns that may be contributing to harmful habits. Journaling can also help us to develop greater self-awareness and a deeper connection to our spiritual lives. Finally, meditation is a powerful habit that can help us to cultivate greater inner peace and calm in the face of life's challenges. By taking time each day to quiet our minds and focus on our breath, we can reduce stress and anxiety and gain a greater sense of perspective on our lives. It is important to note that these habits are not a substitute for professional help when dealing with addiction or mental health issues. However, they can be powerful tools for cultivating greater well-being and delaying gratification in all areas of our lives. I also want to emphasize that even someone in the worst position ever can turn their life around with dedication and support. While it may seem impossible to break free from addiction or harmful habits, there is always hope for recovery and healing. By committing to positive habits and seeking help from a supportive community, even someone who feels beyond salvation can find peace and meaning in their lives. It may require hard work and a willingness to face difficult emotions and challenges, but with God's grace and the support of others, all things are possible. In closing, I want to encourage each of you to seek out positive habits that can help you delay gratification and cultivate greater well-being in your lives. And to those who may be struggling with addiction or harmful habits, know that you are not alone, and that there is always hope for recovery and healing. With God's grace and the support of our community, we can overcome all obstacles and live lives of joy and fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you all.